Alright, so here's the deal. The Lakers are seriously looking at the Brooklyn Nets draft picks. And honestly, it's kind of a gold mine for them. Brooklyn has an insane number of picks coming up. The 8th overall, the 19th, the 26th, the 27th, and then the 36th pick, which technically falls into the second round, but is right at the start of it. So effectively, they have close to 5 first-round picks to work with this year. That's almost unheard of. The question is, are the Nets really going to draft 5 new players in one go? It's highly unlikely. Brooklyn is clearly in a rebuild mode. They're hitting the reset button, trying to clear the roster and create some flexibility. But drafting 5 players and integrating all of them into the squad would be pretty wild. Imagine bringing in that many rookies all at once. It would mean waiving several current players to make room. Even if they trade away guys like Nick Claxton or Cam Johnson, they'd still have to take on contracts in return, so it's not just a simple swap. The roster management challenges alone make it a complex scenario. From what we've heard, the Nets are more likely to draft a few players and then move on 2 of those picks by trading them, kind of pushing the timeline forward. Maybe they keep the 8th, 19th, and 26th picks and try to move the 27th and 36th. Reports suggest they're shopping the 19th pick along with Cam Johnson, possibly aiming to trade up in the draft and snag 2 lottery picks. But no serious offers have surfaced yet, so who knows how that'll pan out. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I mentioned Austin Reeves briefly in an earlier video about the Lakers potentially getting involved with Brooklyn's picks, but I want to break that down a bit more. This is just a fun conversation about what could happen. Austin Reeves is a player I've been critical of at times. I've talked about trading him before, but I'm not one of those who dislike the guy. In fact, I think he's an excellent player, not a superstar, but definitely a solid contributor who could fetch decent trade value. Guys with lesser impact than him have gone for first-round picks before, so it's reasonable to think he could be worth the first-rounders in the right deal. Take Rui Hachimura, for example. In the right situation, a guy like him could fetch a first-round pick too, especially on a contending team. So thinking about what Brooklyn might offer, would they give up the 8th and 19th picks for Austin Reeves? That would still leave them with the 26th, 27th, and 36th picks. Obviously, salary cap considerations come into play, and they'd have to take on some contracts to make the numbers work. Maybe the Lakers could send over some salary fillers to make that trade happen. If you add Nick Claxton into the mix, that changes things even more. Claxton could be the Lakers' starting center now and for the foreseeable future, so acquiring him along with a couple of picks could be a game changer. Maybe the Lakers could draft a wing player with the 8th pick, someone like Malik or Derek Queen, guys who bring versatility and defense. Then with the 19th pick, maybe go for a 3-and-D type player to round out the roster. Of course, none of this is easy. Brooklyn could just re-sign Austin Reeves outright next season, so why would they trade him? Well, from their perspective, getting proven players and picks to help rebuild might be worth it. It would give them flexibility to decide what to do next year while adding solid pieces now, and Brooklyn isn't going to bring in all 5 rookies. They'll trade some picks or players to keep their roster manageable. If the Lakers could pull off a deal for the 8th, 19th, and 36th picks along with Nick Claxton and Cam Johnson, that would be huge. In exchange, maybe send Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, the 31st pick, and some additional salary fillers. The 31st pick is valuable to keep for depth and potential trades later on. This kind of swap would give the Lakers the foundational pieces right now and some flexibility to build around them. Claxton is young enough to be a long-term center, and the draft picks could be used to add wings or back up big men. It's a balancing act, though. If you draft a center with the 8th pick, like some rumors about a top 5 jump, how do you manage Claxton's role? Do you bring Claxton off the bench for years? Probably not ideal. So maybe go for versatile wings instead, like a Collins, Murray, or a Carter Bryant type players who bring defense and can stretch the floor. Adding someone like Zaire Williams might make sense too, but selling the farm isn't necessary. From a financial standpoint, matching salaries and hard caps are a challenge for the Lakers, especially if they want to keep their mid-level exception intact and make space for LeBron James. They might have to get creative, using sign and trade deals and smart roster moves. Still, the upside of getting Claxton, Cam Johnson, and multiple first-round picks could outweigh the risks. At the end of the day, Austin Reeves is a solid player, averaging nearly 29 points and 8 assists when LeBron sits, showing He can carry a significant load, but there are always concerns about whether he can sustain that as the main guy for a full season. Trading him, while his value is high, might be the smartest move for the Lakers, especially before his next contract makes that more difficult. It's a fascinating scenario, with lots of moving parts and what-ifs. How would you feel about the Lakers going after these picks and players from Brooklyn? Would you be okay giving up Austin Reeves for that package? The draft is always a gamble, but Brooklyn's bounty of picks gives them leverage, and the Lakers need to figure out the best way to build a competitive roster now and in the future. Digging deeper into this potential Lakers-Nets deal, there's so much to unpack about the strategic implications for both teams. Brooklyn clearly wants to reset their roster, but at the same time, they need to maintain some semblance of competitiveness. Holding onto 5 first-round picks sounds great in theory, but the reality is they can't develop that many rookies all at once without risking chemistry issues and roster log jams. So it makes sense they'd want to package some of those picks in trades to bring in immediate contributors or free up space. From the Lakers' perspective, acquiring multiple picks from Brooklyn could accelerate their rebuild or retooling process significantly. They're in a position where they need to balance youth and experience, and getting a young center like Nick Claxton fits perfectly with their timeline. Claxton offers athleticism, rim protection, and the ability to grow alongside their current stars. That alone could change the dynamic inside the paint and relieve pressure off their perimeter players. When it comes to the draft picks, the Lakers have options. The 8th pick is especially valuable because it sits right in that range where you can still grab high upside talent who can contribute early. Players like Malik Monk or others with a proven skill set but room to grow become targets. Then, with later picks like the 19th or 26th, the Lakers could focus on specific needs, perhaps a lockdown defender, a three-point shooter, or a versatile wing. This multi-pick approach allows the Lakers to address multiple roster gaps instead of gambling everything on a single player. There's also the salary cap and roster management puzzle. The Lakers have to be careful with their contracts because they're close to the luxury tax and the hard cap. Taking on contracts like Cam Johnson's means they'd need to move salary elsewhere to stay compliant. That's where trade flexibility comes in. Swapping players and picks to balance salaries while maximizing talent is a delicate art. The Lakers front office has to juggle all of this while trying to keep LeBron James happy and competitive. Austin Reeves is the wild card here. He's young, has shown flashes of being a high-level contributor, and fits well with the current Lakers squad, but from a value perspective, trading him for a package that includes multiple first-round picks and Claxton could be a smart move. It's about weighing the certainty of what you have against the potential of what you can get. Reeves could blossom into a star with the Lakers, but there's also the risk he plateaus. If the Lakers can get to first-round picks and a young center in exchange, that might be worth the gamble. Brooklyn might hesitate to give up so many picks and a player like Claxton, but acquiring someone like Reeves could provide them with a proven piece to build around while they continue their rebuild. Reeves offers scoring, playmaking, and versatility, which could be valuable for a team looking to stay somewhat competitive in the short term. Plus, the flexibility to flip picks or players later keeps their options open. Ultimately, these kinds of trades are about timing and fit. The Lakers have a window to remain relevant with their current core, but that window is closing. Adding young assets with upside and a starting caliber center aligns with a strategy to extend their competitiveness. Meanwhile, Brooklyn needs to manage the salary cap, roster spots, and draft assets wisely to avoid stagnation. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on. In what could be one of the most intriguing moves of the offseason, rumors are swirling around a potential blockbuster trade between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Utah Jazz. According to whispers coming out of front office circles, the Lakers are reportedly exploring a deal that would send forward Rui Hachimura to Utah in exchange for all-star big man LAURI Markkanen. Though no official confirmation has been made, the speculation alone is enough to set the NBA world abuzz. Markkanen, who has quietly developed into one of the league's most versatile and efficient scoring forwards, could be the missing piece. The Lakers need to revamp their roster around LeBron James and Anthony Davis. His ability to stretch the floor, knock down threes, and defend multiple positions fits perfectly in Darvin Ham's system. For the Lakers, who have struggled with consistency and shooting depth, acquiring a player like Markkanen could provide a much-needed boost. Hachimura, on the other hand, remains a valuable asset in his own right. After showing flashes of brilliance during the Lakers' recent postseason run, his size and mid-range scoring have drawn interest from several teams, including the Jazz. Utah, still in a retooling phase, might see HACHIMURA as a younger, more malleable player to build around, especially if they choose to pivot toward a more development-focused direction. While nothing is set in stone, the potential trade has fans and analysts speculating about what it means for both franchises. Would the Lakers be giving up too much in HACHIMURA, who has shown potential to blossom into a high-impact player? Or is this a rare opportunity to land a near all-star talent in Markkanen? Without sacrificing key draft capital, it's still early days, but as the offseason heats up, this Lakers-Jazz rumor could gain traction. Whether it's a smokescreen or the start of serious negotiations, one thing is certain: this could be a summer to remember in Los Angeles. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.